and welcome to this holiday week edition of Getting Hammered. You know, we slept on pumpkin beers, on fall beers, but we did not give you a taste test of those, and I apologize. That was a dropped ball, okay? But we got one here among a selection of Christmas beers that we're going to try for you guys. Winter solstice holiday beers. I don't want to offend anybody. Seasonal winter beers that we're going to try. But before that, I believe Vic has something to share with the class.
I do. I only need about 30 minutes. Mary Katharine, you look lovely, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I think that this is I have my Christmas jammies on, and I think that is kosher because this is a post-Thanksgiving show. So.
Yes. Kosher for Hanukkah as well.
That too.
By luck, I'm happy. I happen to wear something I wore like last week. How was your Thanksgiving?
It was lovely.
Oh, good.
It was lovely.
I
Really
ate so much.
Good times.
I had too much to drink. Okay. So people talk about movies because they get antsy about like, oh, what movie are you going to see? You know, at Thanksgiving or with the family. And there's all sorts of interesting movies out. And there's the obvious
because you're not
one.
watching the Lions lose, which is my tradition.
Oh, that's you. Thursday. That's
they
right.
might not
There's
lose.
Dallas. That's always a big game. And I think it's probably going to be the Dallas and the Redskins. I still refuse to call them the Commanders. That usually they play on Thanksgiving. I could be wrong, but definitely Dallas and the Lions. In terms of movies, obviously, Planes, Trains, Automobiles, still my favorite Thanksgiving movie of all time. Titus Takara has a piece for us on Nobody's Fool.
Nice.
Paul Newman.
Nice.
From I think 1993 or 1994, which is quite nice. But I'll tell you a movie that I recently rewatched, Mary Katharine.
Okay, what is it?
Something called Back to the Future.
Oh, okay.
I have listed 4 problems with Back to the Future. I know. Everyone loves it.
I refuse to believe it.
Well, great Scott.
It's perfect movie.
Hold on to your... Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Number 1. Doc Brown, he steals the plutonium from the Libyans.
Right.
Yes? The Libyans show up at the Twin Pines Mall, right?
Mm-hmm.
The one's the driver. The other guy has the RPG. The driver's wearing a keffiyeh, okay? Totally not conspicuous at all in Hill Valley, assuming that's in California or whatever.
It's not like it's an Ivy League campus,
No,
folks.
no, that's right.
But
So, and he's Libyan, but he's got the keffiyeh on. The guy with the RPG, the actor's name is Richard Duran, okay? So... not Arabic, not a Libyan, not speaking Arabic. It's just a bunch of like guttural sounds and English.
Problematic.
And broken English. Definitely not Berber. So I just wanted to bring up how it's sort of absurd. And the driver, I'm pretty sure, was not Libyan or Arabic either. Okay, that's the first thing. Okay. Kind of silly. The second thing, the talent show. The idea is Michael J. Fox is Marty McFly. So much talent. He's got this band, and he's just not appreciated. The Pinheads,
right? And
the judges, one of whom is the great Huey Lewis himself, is there, and they stop him because they say it's just too darn loud. He says, and everybody laughs. I was in the theater when this movie came out. We all thought it was very funny, cool. I loved it. The Pinheads play a sort of bastardized version of The Power of Love.
Right.
It's horrible. All right. This is like if I were a judge, I would. Huey Lewis's version, 100%. It's a fantastic song. All of Huey Lewis's songs are great. The Michael J. Fox Pinheads version is so bad. I'm like, right down. Okay, so that's the second thing. The third thing.
Hey, maybe you just weren't ready for it, as he says later.
That's right. Thank you. Okay, we're going to get to that, which brings me to point number 3.
All right.
They dub his voice for the singing, for Michael J. Fox. He's at the prom or the Enchantment Under the Sea. And it's so obvious. Like... there are some movies where they make it seem like, maybe it's his voice, maybe it's not his voice, the Sound of Music, Christopher Plummer. It wasn't his voice, but it should be because he's a good singer. In this case, Michael J. Fox, especially 1985 Michael J. Fox, Family Ties, he sort of still has that sort of slightly post-puberty cracking voice kind of a thing. And he says like...
not a baritone.
No, not a baritone. And he says, this is an oldie, or at least an oldie where I come from. And then all of a sudden it's down in Louisiana, and it's okay. It's totally different person. Okay.
They should have dubbed him with Justin Bieber, but Justin Bieber wasn't around yet.
Okay, can I give you the last craziest thing? Okay. There's this other subplot, not really a subplot, but this other side story that's going on, which is Marty's world is falling apart because Biff damages the car and everything else, he was supposed to take his girlfriend Jennifer to the lake.
Right.
Right. In that and in the end, it's the fancy black Toyota.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. It's I forgot. My son knows actually the model of it. It's going to drive me nuts. Nevertheless, the whole family seems to know that he's taking Jennifer to the lake, and the mom, played by the wonderful Leah Thompson, she says, "Marty," she says, "isn't this the weekend where you're going to take Jennifer to the lake and make her a woman?" You know, I mean, it's like so obvious. It's so obvious what's going to happen at the lake, and it's so very 1985. Isn't this the weekend you're going to, give it to her? I mean, it's like so out of control. That's all I'm going to say. This is a Christmas episode or a holiday episode.
Let's keep it PG.
Let's keep it PG. Okay. I just wanted to get that off my chest. That said, still one of the greatest movies of all time. And I will tell you, there's too many reasons to list why it's amazing, but I'll give you one that nobody probably gives a lot.
Okay, what is it?
The original Jennifer. Now, the later Jennifer was Elizabeth Shue.
Yes.
The original Jennifer her name is Claudia Wells. She's wearing this ridiculous printed pants, very 80s.
Oh, it was so perfectly 80s.
It was so perfectly 80s. Like if you do a movie now, they'll think, oh, that's over. That's not how they looked. That was normal. Like we saw it and we're like, yeah, she looks great. And it was this printed pants thing going on. She was adorable. And I am in love with Claudia Wells from 1985.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
Got that out of my chest. Are you a fan? You like the movie?
I love that movie. Yeah. I think I have had my kids watch that and they enjoyed it.
Well, it's a great thing about standing up to bullies.
Yes.
It's really, really great.
I just think it's like now you've ruined it, but it's a perfect movie in my estimation. The pacing is perfect. Michael J. Fox is perfect. You know that Eric Stoltz was originally cast to play it, and they did test scenes with him, and it didn't work out. So Michael J. Fox got that shot, and I think we're all glad for that. Yeah. Maybe accepting Eric Stoltz, but I love that movie. Another Michael J. Fox movie that not at all seasonal is Teen Wolf.
Oh yes.
Which now that's another one where looking back is very 80s and inappropriate. Like they're doing 7 Minutes in Heaven in the party, and everybody's clearly underage drinking, and like that was just. If you're an 80s kid, that's just normal. You just watch that when you're 6. That's just
you watch
normal.
it when you're 6. It's a great movie.
It's a fantastic movie. And the soundtrack also fantastic. Okay.
Wonderful.
All right.
Thank you. Okay, good. We're done.
Now that we've hashed this out, we can get hammered.
That's right.
All right, so we should start with this autumn ale because we skipped fall. And I'm sorry, listeners and viewers, for having
it's an autumn ale.
that.
We'll start with that.
So this is a sop to fall because we missed it. But we're going to do this anyway because we deserve it.
Who is the brewer?
This is Breckenridge Brewery, which I assume is in Colorado. Let's just go with that. How misinformed can you be by this information?
You can just take the bottle caps and just flick it on the ground because
I can flick them on the ground.
Yeah,
huh?
that's fine.
It's
like the ground round. We're just going to put our
nice.
peanut shells on the floor. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I shouldn't pour too much because we're going to have a couple of these.
Sure you can.
My goodness.
Okay, well, this is interesting. An autumn ale. Okay.
Smells nice.
Oh, it looks like a porter.
It looks like a porter, but is it more red ale? Is it meant to be more red ale? What is it? It says an ale.
Okay, well, cheers.
Cheers. Oh, brown ale.
It's a brown ale. It's
brown ale?
Like
Brewed
nut brown ale, right.
Oh, right up your alley. Munich malts and Bavarian hops.
Very nice.
From your homeland.
Yes. It's true.
Oh, that's nice.
Well, that's actually quite nice. I was ready to hate
like
it because it tastes like a porter. Well, it's definitely nutty. Sorry. I know that's a movie line from Austin Powers, but no, it really does.
It's a little smoky.
No, for autumn, I was prepared for, and I see we do have a porter coming up from one of my favorite labels, Yingling, but I was prepared for something more pumpkin related.
Yes. What is your take on pumpkin beer? Can it be good?
I have only now begun to fully embrace pumpkin flavored coffee, but I drink my coffee black, and the one I really like right now at the moment, which is at home, is the pumpkin spice from Wawa. That's my level. That's what I prefer. It's fantastic.
Elegant.
It is. So it's not for everybody. Pumpkin's an interesting thing. The pumpkin spice latte, by the way, at Starbucks is so we're not talking about beer, but the coffee flavor is just celebrated its 20th anniversary.
I'm not a fan.
It's huge.
I know. I'm missing a check box on my basic white bee, but I don't like it. I think it tastes like potpourri.
Well, this is interesting. Sometime in the 90s, there were they did these
I gotta
tests.
ditch some of this lest I get actually
There you
drunk.
go. That'll be. You know what that's like? That's like at wine tastings. You could put it in the other thing. Okay.
It tastes good though. It's good.
Well, they did these tests about scents, about smells, and apparently what men were found to find the most interesting, alluring, was pumpkin. And the only thing more than that was pumpkin and lavender, apparently.
Really?
Now, they say alluring, and I think that's a loaded
Now,
word. I think
when-
what they mean is arousing, but, you know.
When you say pumpkin, do
Yeah,
you mean
like pumpkin
Like
spice, like-
spice?
Yes,
okay, so that
pumpkin
makes a little more
spice.
sense. That's
Excuse
just because
me.
men are thinking about food. Like I bet it's vanilla and cinnamon.
You know
are
what
the
this?
top.
You know that's an autumn ale. You know what this? Because this is I'm generally a steak and red wine person, right? Steak and ale is great too. And
That's
you
true.
can have a nice if you have a nice ale like this. Cheers.
I don't love pumpkin beers. They have sort of a
They've been around since
they're-
colonial times.
They're festive, so I
yeah,
drink
yeah.
them for that
Yeah,
reason,
yeah,
and I enjoy
yeah.
embracing fall in that way since I can't embrace the PSL. But they're not my fave. You can get a really good one every now and then, though. Okay, Tidings Ale from Port City, right here in Alexandria.
Big fan.
Let's see if this one's a little more ale-y.
And
We got Vic some nuts, guys.
Love my nuts. Our
this is
producer,
already going off the
our
rails.
producer Jennifer, kindly brought these two brands of peanuts here from Foxtrot, which I've never heard of. Foxtrot, and these are sweet and they're spicy, and there's a great. Oh, thank you. There's a great pairing. Okay, so remind me again. This is Port City.
Tidings Ale, Port
Okay.
City, from right here in our area.
This must be quite the experience for the listener.
People love when you eat into
Yeah,
the mic.
I'm
That's a huge thing for podcast listeners.
This is the honey roasted.
All right, I'm trying
nuts.
this. I'm trying this beer, which is less offensive to the ears.
It's making you hungry, isn't it?
Oh, it's got a lot of spice.
The smell gets you first.
It's got a lot of spice on it.
Oh, this is like a Hefeweizen.
It's like a wintry Hefeweizen. How do you feel about that?
I believe it's
Saison-ish. It is saison-ish.
something I would say. This is I believe public enemy number one for gout is the Hefeweizen.
Don't drink too much.
Well, you only poured me a little bit.
Yeah, we'll
It's
let's
a
keep it
great.
chill.
I mean, I haven't had Hefeweizen in so long, though. So
Why is that number one? It's like the weed is bad for you?
yeah, something about that. That's my personal suspicions.
Okay.
Although actually, the number one cause of my gout is Coors Light.
Well,
Inexplicable. I don't know why.
avoid the mountains.
Okay. Yes, that's right. Dodge the silver.
Okay.
Okay.
I actually like that, but I like saison type beers. In
Yeah,
general.
yeah. You know, and in Germany, you get to drink the Hefeweizen out of these beautiful glasses that no, Jennifer's
Yeah,
not.
that
She
has
knows
like
what
a
I'm talking
has like a
about.
cinnamony vibe almost, or a clovey
Yeah,
vibe.
yeah. It's a bit much for me. It's a bit much for me.
I like it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I'm putting it in my.
Let me ask without asking
Discard.
without asking to reveal your age, not your age now, but your age when you first appreciated beer, not when you first sipped the beer. When you
Yeah.
first got to really like drink a beer. When was that?
Well,
Teens or 20s?
I
per
feel
se,
like it was
and
sort
where
of
were you?
it was a little bit built into the Ham household because not in a bad way. I know this old TV is bringing up memories of everyone's alcoholic stepfather, but with like it's 10 beers on top. Not in a bad way. In our family, my parents grew up for part of their childhood in Germany.
Oh,
So we had, my dad had a great thing where he would come in and there were iced mugs in the
Oh.
freezer.
wow.
So he had his beer in a frosty mug
Yes.
when he had a beer. And I always found that so alluring.
Absolutely.
That's the
No,
we're coming back to that word. But I thought that was so cool. And when we were kids, I'm sure I think the CPS statute of limitations is out. He would let us drink the
sure.
foam off the top of the beer.
The head.
When we were
Yeah.
kids. And that was very exciting.
On particular, it's in Germany. The head on those beers is almost shiny. It's nice that you could take a spoon to it. It's really it's delicious.
But because we were in America instead of Germany, it's not like the beers in the mid
beer is different.
80s
The
that
beer
we
is
were
different.
drinking were
No.
good.
Yeah.
They were just whatever lager was at the grocery store.
I went to I was on a high school trip, and in 1989 went to Germany
Right.
before the fall of the wall, and that's the first time I really
break
got
into this Sam Adams while we're at
Was exposed to beer for the first time then, and it spoiled me because it's in Germany. It's the water, really. I think it's the water. And had it might have been from Dinkelsbühl, the beer, and it was, to this day, in my mind, it's almost like mythic.
Mythic beer.
Okay, so what do we have?
So when I first enjoyed
Yes.
beer and wine, I was probably mid-20s before I really started appreciating.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have any money.
So your father,
What am I gonna buy?
your father he lived in Germany?
Yes. So my parents met at Ramstein Air
Oh,
Base.
right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
It's so funny you didn't cross paths with Sonny Bunch.
you know what? Well,
Or Matt Labash.
So this was long before my time. Though.
Oh,
so they were over
okay,
there
okay.
before
Oh,
I
that's
was
right,
born.
That's right. You were not.
And then my dad, rough life that he had, spent his teenage years in Paris.
Thank you. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
So they must have called him Herr Ham in Germany.
Maybe they did.
Cheers.
Cheers. What is this one? Okay, hold on.
Sam Adams. What? I could smell it.
Holiday white ale, citrusy and hazy.
It smells citrusy and it looks hazy. So. I like it better than the Port City, and it's funny because I love Port City. I've taken my kids to Port City. I went there with my father-in-law on a legendary outing, and but not my favorite.
I would take the Port City. Now, what made this outing legendary? Tell us. Also, I already can't pronounce words.
Yeah, that's okay.
We're 3 beers in.
No, I know three little beers in.
Tell me about your legendary outing.
Well, my mother-in-law said to my wife she was going to take her away to that. Away from the kids so that I have to deal with the kids a whole weekend alone. Mm-hmm. So they went down to what is that castle place in North Carolina that's beautiful? It's, it looks like a
Biltmore.
castle. The Biltmore, of course. They went to the Biltmore. We're going to have a lovely time and you got to deal with the kids. So I said, fine. I got the kids. What are we going to do? My father-in-law was left behind too. So I called Bob and I said, hey, you want to go to Port City Brewery? I'll take the kids. He says, yeah, let's do it. And so the 4 of us went. We just drank. There was free video games at Port City. And maybe they still have it. We were playing, with the cornhole and other outside games, and then we're playing video games inside. And then my father-in-law and I just decided to do a flight. And there was a food truck that had cheeseburgers, and I'm like, it does not get better than that. And we loved bragging about this when they came back.
Right, because you had the time of your
life.
life.
We had the time of our life, and my mother just shook her head like, you were not supposed to have the time of your life. I said,
that is a real dad move.
Yeah,
that's a real dad move.
That's right. And we did the tour. And the kids got to partake in the tour, like pouring hops out of a pitcher. I mean, it was hops, not beer, but
right.
the grains.
I feel like they could pour beer. I wouldn't.
No,
I'm
a big fan of Port City.
This is gonna sound like damning with faint praise, but this is very drinkable. In that you could have several of these. Yeah. You could not have several of the Tide.
No, it's
Tidings Ale.
It's a meal. Some of these beers are a meal.
The Sam Adams is lighter.
Yes, I want to drink a beer that's a beer, right?
At one point, my little brother was into brewing some home beers.
Yes.
And he did a pretty good job because he's an exacting kind of guy. I would mess mine all up. But at one point, I came home for Christmas, and I actually tried some of his. He was doing IPAs because that's where you start, because those are the easier ones apparently to do the home brewing.
Did not know that.
But he had learned a lot about brewing. And I said to him, we were in our 20s. I said, I keep getting surprisingly drunk off of these beers I'm drinking. And he's like, what are you drinking? And I was like, well, I'm really into porters now and stouts. And he's like, yeah, there's 10% alcohol. And I was like, oh,
yes,
I should keep that in mind when I drink those.
They all have different percentages, Mary Katharine.
I kept getting
some
accidentally
are 4,
obliterated
some
on
are
these.
4, some are 8, some are 10.
Ooh, what happened to me? Dang.
At my sister and her husband, they had a second wedding reception in Holland because the wedding was in Jersey, so they went there. So I flew out there. I flew out there and to Papendrecht,
Swing
which is
by
a tiny
Red
town.
District.
Yes, it's a tiny town near outside of in Rotterdam in the south, and my brother-in-law Steven's friends, all these Dutchmen, were introducing me to a bunch of beers that I'd never had. Mm-hmm. A lot of them were Belgian, not Dutch, which is interesting.
Interesting.
And they were Duvels and Trebles, and so it's like, what does it mean? Really, it's like double the amount, triple the amount of, just like, as you were saying.
They hide it in there.
It's like 20 proof or something.
Yeah, you got to be careful with that. Okay, what are we on to? Let's see.
Oh, did you? Is this in order? Because I'm intrigued by the last one. If that's the last one,
we just this was random.
Sometimes they do this like a wine flight where it goes from a Chenin Blanc all the way to.
I should have pretended that we arranged it that way, but we did not.
A heavy red.
So this is Shiner.
Shiner Bock.
Yes, and it's Shiner Holiday Cheer. And
Yep.
let me just commend this one for the label, which is beautiful and very classic. It looks like a Bing Crosby album.
Oh yeah, it does. I love
It's
that.
very mid-century.
And Shinerbach, great German Texas.
Slash post-World War II, actually.
They do great in Texas. They've got great Oktoberfests, Spargelfests, which is for the asparagus season. Thank you.
Can I ask you, since we're talking about
places like
Christmas-
Munster? Yeah.
We're talking over each other now. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Can I ask you, what is your family's of origin or your current family's go-to Christmas album?
Oh, God. Oh, a Christmas album is
Yeah.
probably a playlist, a mix of things.
Oh,
you know?
really?
Yeah, no, we don't have an
But, like,
album. I'll tell you,
Okay,
for
Vic,
example.
Vic, I know
Okay.
how old you are.
Give me
and I know there was a literal album that you put on in your home
It would
when
be
you
like
were a child.
you know what? It would be a mixtape. Like a Christmas, you can get these cassette tapes, and they were mixes of like Bing and Frank and
Now
people
you're
like
making me seem older
than
than you.
So you have an actual. Well, here's the problem, Mary Katharine. Like I have like a.
Oh wow, that's
I have
fruity.
I have. Let me chase this for a second. Oh, that is fruity. That's actually quite. That's holiday cheer. It's not.
Okay, it smells fruitier than it tastes.
If the holiday is.
Was that an
it's a-
elf movement?
Yeah, it
was that
It
like
was- I
elves
did.
made
no,
this
is
beer?
no, because it's you assume holiday is going to be like oaky or something very heavy and malty. No, this is holiday.
this is more like-
light. It looks dark. Look at
Yeah.
the color. It's an amber. But that said,
Not super fruity tasting. Not. I was expecting it to be sweet, and I'm glad it
no,
wasn't.
I taste sweet. But maybe it's because I've been eating the peanuts. I don't know.
Back to the
okay, so
mixtape.
go. Why don't you just
Back to your Christmas mixtape.
Yeah, no, do a Christmas mixtape, which will have Nat King Cole, Frank Sinatra. Because if I've had the Dean Martin Christmas album. I've had the Frank Sinatra. The Frank Sinatra one starts off great, and by the end, Frank Jr. and Tina or Nancy,
Right.
and their kids, not older Nancy,
Okay.
but like young Nancy, and those songs are the worst.
No.
No
is this
offense to
mixtape?
Frank Jr. and
Is this
Nancy.
mixtape homemade or
No.
Okay.
I bought it.
I was just,
okay. Yeah.
I was just hoping your family's mixtape was not
Oh
taped
no!
off of the radio.
Oh wait, hold on one second. Growing up, like me as when I was a
Yes.
child. Okay, I'm talking about like me as like me. Sorry, as a child. You ready for this? You're not going to believe it. You
Okay.
are not going to believe it. There were
Okay.
2 albums in vinyl. My parents were big fans of the Ray Conniff singers. You know Ray Conniff.
Okay, that's a strange
Of course,
choice.
they pronounced it Ray Conniff, but it's Ray Conniff, and it's all singing Christmas songs, like this. If you can see me on the camera, I'm just doing this. Ray Conniff, and then there's a Filipino
Yeah.
Christmas album.
Okay.
and it was quite nice.
Okay. I want to link to this Filipino Christmas album.
Thank you.
And I'm going to try Kniff as
What
well.
Ray Conniff? Yeah, what do you got?
So 2 in my household. The first one, this is the classic. Bing Crosby, Merry Christmas.
Wow.
Flawless. The whole way through. Much like Back to the Future. Don't listen to it and then tell me what's wrong with it because you'll be wrong. Okay?
I think Nat King Cole does a better Adeste Fidelis.
How dare.
Nat King Cole's German is better.
How
It's
dare.
really good German.
Okay. All right. Fine. Oh, yeah. So my World War II era Christmas singing hero Bing Crosby, his German pronunciation is not good enough. I think that's okay with
Well,
me,
he was
an American.
Yeah, well, I'm very woke. That's why I say Nat King Cole can speak the German. Wie treu sind deine Blätter. And he's very good.
We should have him do a whole album like that. Okay. Bing Crosby. And then my parents loved, and this is not a super well-known choice.
What?
Leon Redbone has a Christmas album.
Redbone, yeah, sure.
And it's fabulous.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's kind of like funky.
And then I've also gotten into in my later years, somewhat ironically, but then also embraced it. Now I'm gonna. Oh, what's the Christian singer? Amy Grant.
Okay, it's very.
Amy Grant has a Christmas album that is very 80s. I believe it's called Tender Tennessee Christmas, and it has synth in the back, and it has religious messages, and it loves the Lord, and I am here for it.
She puts the white in White Christmas. She really does. That's,
Actually, that album cover, speaking of
Very-
albums, she is wearing, similar to Jennifer, your love from Back to the Future.
Yes.
Like
we're now
high-waisted
Yeah,
jeans.
the high-waisted,
a
yeah.
cozy sweater tucked into the high-waisted
Yeah.
jeans, possibly a turtleneck with it. I mean, she's very cozy. And against a very white background. It
We
turns
did
out
not.
'cause it's
No,
snow.
yes, very white background. We did not listen to Lou Rawls, but I was a big fan later of Lou Rawls' Christmas. Excellent.
What is the
His "Have Yourself a Merry Christmas" is very good.
is it? Okay.
It's boozy.
What is the super synthy?
Trans-Siberian.
Yes.
Yes.
Are you a fan of
No.
that?
No.
I have never been able to get into that.
Yes. Yeah. No. I don't.
I understand that it takes talent to produce that. I can't do it.
Sure.
But not
Hard
my
pass.
style.
Not my style.
Okay, was this your style? Was this holiday cheer your style?
It was interesting, and I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean, but it's just not my. I would much rather have Sam Adams or the first one, the Autumn Ale. But again, Autumn Ale, if I'm having a steak from the farms of Athenry, which I mentioned that place before in Middleburg, or the Sam Adams, which was nice and easy. Okay.
All right,
We
let's
got
move
something
on.
Christmas.
We are how many beers in? One, two, three, four beers in.
Five. Oh my goodness! Look at the color on this thing. Okay.
Oh, that's lovely. Okay, so this is our fifth beer. Also, just a little behind the scenes.
All right.
I'm gonna break for a
Oh, right,
radio
it's coming
interview
up.
about
It's now.
real issues in just a few minutes. So let's
should we
keep? Oh no, I'm just
Why don't
saying.
we
I'm just
it's
telling the audience.
4:10 now. Do you want? Isn't it now?
What?
It's 4:11. Don't you have to? Isn't
Dang
it
it.
now? Yeah. Okay. Hold that thought. Do that. Take a break.
Hi, I'm sorry. And we're back, having nearly missed a national radio interview and lost the bottle opener.
What do we have here, Mary Katharine?
Thanks for getting me on track there, Vic.
Yeah, no problem.
This is Breckenridge again,
Oh.
which we enjoyed on the
From
Autumn Ale.
Colorado.
And this is the Christmas Ale, malty, full-bodied winter warmer. Okay, here we go. Let's
Full-bodied.
try it.
This is like a whole meal for me now.
I know
I should skip dinner. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Oh,
he
my
won't.
goodness. I mean,
It's pretty. First of all, I like this label a lot.
let me see the.
Very festive,
fine, yeah,
red and gray.
okay.
Fine.
It's fine. It's no Shiner.
All right,
holiday.
mixtape.
It's no. I totally misunderstood your question about the music. I was like, what did I listen to when I was
I only
in
explained
college?
it 3 times.
I was thinking about when I was in college or something. I don't know. At my house
your
now.
family, your
the playlist.
childhood.
Oh yeah, the Ray Conniff singers.
Ray Kniff. All right, this one is a little dry for me. Like just it's not it doesn't feel super Christmassy.
It's fine. I'd rather have something on the lighter side than something that's heavy.
Yes,
I
the autumn
like that
ale
porter
tasted very autumn, and had like a
It
real.
did. I mean,
substance to it.
you're gonna have to.
This one is much more chill.
It's lighter than it looks,
But
right?
if-
I mean, you look at a beer like this and like, oh,
If you're into design, though,
Yeah.
the Christmas ale from Breckenridge and the Shiner,
Shiner
Holiday
Holiday
Cheer, those are
Cheer.
the ones you want in your cooler
Yeah.
to look cool.
but
That's what you
don't
want.
judge, a label by its beer, by beer, because autumn ale is the that's for me as a winner. You'd be surprised, and in Sam Adams for that matter, because it just has a Sam Adams label, but it's really quite tasty.
We're killing this. I can feel it. Okay.
All right, I'm reusing my glass because of
Oh, you
my
are? You're
cup
so-
of the environment.
Oh my gosh, you're so good about the environment.
Yeah.
All right, I will save mine then.
Okay,
All right.
moving along,
This
moving
one I
right
just
along.
got because of the name.
Elf?
It's called the Mad Elf.
Oh, Trogs.
Yeah.
Oh, this will be interesting.
The Mad Elf Holiday Ale brewed with cherries and honey. I also thought that was interesting.
All right. Do I need a new cup for that? It sounds like I just lied about the environment because
Hey, just like all the
Cherry-
other people who care about the
Just-
environment,
that's
you're
right.
lying
It's
your
all,
ass
the whole
off.
thing is a lie. But you said cherries and honey. I don't want to mix that with the other stuff. Okay, thank you. It looks like
His thank you is getting quicker
yeah.
and quicker every time I pour.
please. It looks like the other ales, but okay, here we go.
Oh, that's a very golden one. Golden.
You can smell. I smell a hint of
gold
cherry.
rings.
I can smell the hint of cherry.
It's a no for Vic.
You know, it would be a great idea, Mary Katharine, to take
What's
a
that?
nice winter ale and then to add some soy sauce on top to give it a little saltiness.
Well, I mean,
That's really.
to be fair, the label has a sort of insane
That's
looking
why
elf.
it's the Mad Elf. It's the
So
Mad Elf,
the Mad Elf has treated you to this.
No, could you imagine drinking several of these? No way.
No, this has a lot of flavor, and I'm not sure I love it.
No, I don't like the flavor. Like I said, you know,
Not sure about that one.
they went a little heavy on the mirin. Okay.
I don't know what that means. Is that an Asian thing?
Yes, that's an Asian. That's Japanese. That's Japanese. Okay, we're gonna have to have a whole new cup for this thing.
All right.
Okay, here we go. Oh, here we go. Now, what do you want to do last? We want. Okay, well.
Okay, so we have
Okay,
two more.
Just for the joke. Just for the joke, we'll save that for the end. And Jennifer chose that because, well, you know.
Well, yeah.
I have a question about the last beer, but we'll get to it.
Okay. This
'Cause
is
we're
a
not
twist
there yet.
off. This is
Okay,
our only
this is,
pedestrian twist off
Yingling,
over
a
here.
great American beer.
So this is a Yingling Hershey's chocolate porter.
Well, they're all, they're all in the same area.
They're
As
all
you know, Pottstown, Hershey.
All right.
Okay.
Let's try it out.
And I love, looks like Ovaltine you just poured in my glass here.
Have you
Gracious.
spent any time at Hershey's Park?
Never.
Really?
Never.
None?
Never been. No.
It's fantastic.
I'd like to. Is it true you can actually smell the chocolate in the air?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's
so
wild.
I have a formative childhood memory, and I'm not sure why we went to Hershey's, and we didn't go on extravagant trips that
Cheers.
often. So I remember it for this reason.
Oh, smell
We were very young. I was up in Pennsylvania. I was probably 4 or younger, and all I remember is the smell.
Yeah.
And that the not the traffic lights, but the street lights are Hershey's Kiss shaped.
Wow.
And it was like the most charming, beautiful thing I had ever seen in my life.
It sounds like it right now. I'd love to check that
Yeah.
out. And it's like
It's beautiful at Christmas. I've been up
you're
there
not.
before.
This is going to blow your mind. This is not an Arrested Development joke. This is going to blow you away. This is, that line that kept
That's
on
actually,
saying.
that is delicious.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I did it. Mind blown. Mind blown.
I was politely waiting until you told me what was going to blow my mind.
No,
I was like, the beer.
The taste of the beer is going to blow your mind away because I was making a joke about the Ovaltine, but sure enough, it's like you're drinking it's chocolate milk.
That is very chocolatey.
It's like,
and I am not mad at it.
Or Yoo-hoo, depending on where you're from.
It is a little Yoo-hoo-y.
Yeah.
Yoo-hoo has a strange consistency to me.
It is because it's
like I don't want thin chocolate. What are we doing?
If you had the idea in your mind that Yoo-hoo is like milk and they put chocolate in it, it's probably not how it's made.
No, this is just alcoholic chocolate milk, and I love it.
This is out of control.
Yeah.
Even again, I'm not a beer person because of my, affliction.
Yeah, like we're gonna put you on the injured reserve list for the next 2 weeks. I'm sorry about that,
For
Vic.
some reason, I can't remove my shoe.
I must take
Oh,
this.
that's amazing.
That's lovely.
I'm just telling you, okay, listeners, right now, if you're not watching this, you should go to YouTube to watch it. What's our YouTube handle again? What is
Getting Hammered podcast.
There you go.
Check it out. You
This-
can see my Christmas jammies, which are not risque, so don't get excited. This is not a Christmas vacation situation.
And we will do a Christmas thing later, but this is a great this is a holiday. This is a holiday.
Look, it's the day after Thanksgiving. We're serving up the things that people are. And by the way, at some point, I'm going to recruit Vic to at least give us a little bit of tutelage in making Christmas cocktails.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, it really is. It's just because when the weather's cooler, I prefer the brown spirits, and I go for my Manhattan. But the Vic Mattis Manhattan, honestly, is the Pop Dwyer Manhattan recipe, which is Kate's grandfather.
Oh, so you've taken that
I've
from
taken
somebody.
that, yes. That
is
yes.
cultural appropriation.
It is appropriation. I've stolen from the Irish.
You did.
Okay.
Many people have.
Yes.
Okay.
This
This
is
one
the end.
again. If you're looking for both a dirty joke and good graphic design, go to Old Chub from Oscar Blues Brewery, Scotch Ale.
I don't know.
You got anything to say about that, Vic?
No. I don't. But wow,
It's a lively beer.
That just jumped out at you.
Woo! Okay. Pour a little bit.
Okay. Thank you.
I keep pouring too much, guys.
Okay. No, it's a lot ahead. Bust out that chub. Sorry. Okay. Excuse me. Look, that's a lot. I mean, come on now. Look at this pour. That's a terrible pour, people. Look at this
You
thing.
didn't tilt your glass. I take offense.
Okay. All right. No.
I think you have some responsibility
Fair.
in this.
Next time we'll bring a keg. And just pump it. We'll do a show. We'll have a keg in the
He's
middle.
giving me a
just pump
straight up
it.
glass. Like I'm going to pour him a nice beer on that. I can't do that.
Yeah,
What do you
that's
think?
pretty good.
Gotcha.
Now, of course, I'm just drinking foam right now, but
Oh, that's good.
Isn't it? A Scotch ale.
It's smoky, as a Scotch ale would be.
Yes,
right?
but not like, not too heavy. I've had, Port City does one. It's like almost a Russian ale, they call it, but it's a Scotch ale, and they say it pairs well with steak, and I think that's true, but it also almost tastes like you're drinking Worcestershire sauce or something. As a guilty pleasure.
This is I do that too with A1, Worcestershire,
just a
whatever.
little bit. Just drink a.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're having a Bloody Mary, you put all that
Yeah,
stuff
obviously,
in there. What are you
obviously.
drinking? But quite a surprise from a beer I've never heard of.
Delicious. Oscar Blues Brewery. Now you guys know.
Where's it come from?
I don't know.
Oh,
Hold on.
okay.
Colorado. No, wait, hold on. Brewed and canned by Oscar Blues Brewery, LLC. Longmont, Colorado. Brevard, North Carolina. Austin, Texas.
Okay. You can
Covers a lot of ground.
That's a lot of chub. Okay. I want to go back to the autumn ale. I need to revisit this
Okay,
because
well, I have a surprise for you.
Oh my gosh! Do I put it back or do I? Pour?
Pour yourself some. However,
Yes.
I do have a surprise for
A
you.
bonus. I'm really excited about this.
All right, you ready?
Uh huh.
I bought us this beer because it matches our branding.
Oh my gosh!
It's like we have a Getting Hammered beer, which we should, honestly. This is Highwire Brewing's Leisure Time Lager, and it has the same stripes in similar colors as the Getting Hammered logo. So
It's rather uncanny.
that's the best joke I've heard all year, and it's
At least
November.
on this show.
It's November.
It's November. Yeah. Okay. Here we go.
It speaks
We should
not
have
so well of the show.
One. We should. I'm not.
That's true.
I'm not doing 40s
You know
on
what?
the show. Oh, this is a Mary Katharine.
We're being
this is
festive.
look at this is a light beer. What is this? Leisure time.
Well,
This
I
is-
don't think this
has
is-
nothing to do with the holidays.
No, it's just a
Oh,
Getting
it's just-
Hammered beer. Cheers.
Oh, cheers. Here we go. Another wonderful year of getting hammered, and we're not even over. This is
We've
not
done it.
as if this is like the year-end episode. It's not. Don't get nervous.
Yeah, don't cancel us, dude. Oh, that tastes nice.
It's nice for the. I feel like this is a summer beer.
This is like the break we needed after all these heavy beers.
Just to cleanse the palate, if we
But-
want. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
No, that was fine. It's Highwire Brewing, which is from where?
I just saw the logo and I said,
Yeah.
we must have this.
Oh, Asheville, North Carolina.
Oh, look, it's from my home
See?
state.
From your home state.
There we go. So we're finishing with that because of the beautiful coincidence
I'll tell you
of the
what-
branding.
I'll tell you what I'm finishing with.
Autumn. Are you going back to autumn ale?
I'm going back to Hershey.
I feel like people are going to be
have to
like,
try it. It's
they're
pretty-
going to try the Hershey's and they're going to be like, wow, that is a chocolate bar. But I think we were very clear about that.
Yeah, you know what? This is like the port, the port wine at the end of the night, that kind of a thing. You want a little bit of a Sauterne, whatever, and Calvados in my case, which I absolutely love. But end of the night, if you want to finish off with a sweet beer, the Hershey's, Yingling Hershey's.
I once took my kids to Hershey's Park. But so it's going to sound not great because it was very cold and it was rainy. So we couldn't go out to the actual theme park. But my kids were young. They weren't going to do a bunch of roller coasters anyway. We stayed at the hotel on the property.
The Hershey Hotel?
When you check in at the Hershey Hotel, they give you a plate of warm chocolate chip cookies
Oh, come on.
and milk.
No.
And then we got to our lovely room and we watched the snowfall outside because the rain turned to snow. And they had their little Christmas jammies and it was idyllic. I
That
tell
sounds
you.
magical.
Sadly, I did not get served any Yingling Hershey's Porter in that room, but I had some cookies.
Do you have like access to like all the varieties of Hershey?
Like me as a person or when you
When
visit?
you're there, do you, Mary Katharine?
I have
when
a
you-
Hershey's closet at my house.
Yeah.
No, you get you do the tour and they tell you about the evolution of the chocolate. You can sign up to make your own chocolate bar, custom. I didn't do that because it costs like $30, and I'm a cheapskate.
to custom. You make your own bar.
You can mix your own. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, I've heard it's cool. I don't know. My children didn't get to enjoy that.
That's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
I would get the Hershey that doesn't taste like chalk, which is a lot of the Hershey product. It's kind of chalky. I'd like
Notably not this beer.
No, notably not. No, I Crackle. I like Crackle.
I like it. I
I'll
like
tell
a
you what's
Crackle.
good is does Hershey make Mr. Goodbar?
I I think so, because it
Yeah.
comes in the same
It comes in the
packaging
same
as that
package,
crackle.
That's why I'm thinking about it. Like dark. You know what's so funny?
I know.
And I love that because it's just peanut and chocolate, and I know not a lot of people can have that anymore these days, but I love it, and so it's good for me because I get to eat it. But do you ever get the one that's the special dark? Like Kate likes the special dark.
Oh, yeah.
The label on it is like so mature. It's like
Oh, yeah.
it's like Cinemax After
it's
Dark of chocolates. You ever notice the letter? He's like After Dark.
No, you're right.
It's true. It's very serious.
That label says "Stay away, children." That is what that label says.
Because when you were a kid, did you ever eat it? No. Give me
Like,
the
that looks terrible.
Take the crackle.
Give me the crackle.
Give me the crackle.
All right. One last thing before we
Yeah.
shut her down.
Yeah. What do you got?
Have we discussed when it's appropriate to start Christmas decorating?
You mean the house?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yes. In the Mattis house now, the Mattis
what
house
do
now,
you- what
that
do
would
you
be
do?
about December 20. I think. You have to,
Well, you guys
it
are
has
famous
to reach
for-
critical mass. The protest from the children has to reach critical mass to find like, okay, fine, we'll do it. No, I shouldn't say that. We're very busy. We're very busy. But
Oh,
no,
I get it.
I would say, I don't know. Early December's fine.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Obviously, December's fine.
Not the day after Thanksgiving. Some people are good. What?
Oh,
what do
you
think? Excuse
think-
me, I'm having the burps here. Oh my
So you.
goodness. Sorry. It's the mixing. It's just the
So
mixing.
you think even post Thanksgiving is too early?
No. Like the day after Thanksgiving. I don't know. That's a little too. I'd say December
okay.
1.
Oh, okay. So you're old
December
school
1.
that way.
Yeah. So
okay.
why you?
I have
they're up now.
switched.
They're up now.
No.
At your house.
No. I'm tempted, but I don't do it. One of the reasons I'm tempted is because as a mom now, I look back and I think, oh wow, all that Christmas magic was my mom doing a lot of work, right?
Yeah,
And it felt very effortless because I was the one receiving the effort. And so now I have to plan the effort. And I'm not a great planner. In planning the effort,
Really?
it occurs to me, maybe if I did it earlier, it would just be that part would be off my plate, right? But I'm loath to give all of November to Christmas, right?
Yeah,
You gotta wait a little while. Now, what I ended up doing in later years, because my second daughter was born shortly after Thanksgiving, is that we would kind of kick it off with her birthday,
Right.
and I think that's reasonable.
Okay.
It's late November.
Sure.
However, if you get a live tree on that day, you do have to
No,
water that thing and take care of it.
Yeah, you got to be
Yeah.
careful because it'll be just.
But I don't
needles
do like
everywhere.
early November. I don't do any of that nonsense.
No. How about Christmas cards? How good are you about that?
So I inherited this from my parents and then got rid of it, jettisoned it.
Which is?
So we used to do a Christmas card every year, and it was very involved. I'm
Well, I
looking
mean,
straight to camera.
I just assume camera one, no less. I just assume that because you're so good about Halloween, that it's all holidays.
So here's the problem. My family growing up, my mother was an elementary school librarian, the best one that ever was. And she was very into costumes. She would do book character costumes
okay.
for school.
Yeah.
So our whole family was in the costumes. So that's how I have inherited
I
this
see.
particular thing. And we would always do a creative Halloween costume. The three amigos, the three pigs. There were 3 kids in my family. It was very cute. We were renowned in the neighborhood. So I got addicted to this
This
social
costume thing.
acclamation.
Okay,
And I needed to do it for myself. Then we would do also a creative Christmas card. Now, this predates Minted and Photoshopping and all of
Shutterfly.
those things. We did an involved Christmas card in the 80s, and it was arduous because my father would
Trying
get
to
us.
figure out how that worked.
Oh, my father would get us. We'd dress
you'd
up.
have to cut it and print out and
No.
then put it on the card?
We would do 2 or 3 rolls of film to make sure that you get 3 children looking reasonable.
Yeah.
The outtakes are fantastic. We would dress up as carolers and be in an old-fashioned setting. There was one where my dad superimposed a frame around the card by putting an actual literal frame
you're
on a
putting
photo
it
and then photographing the photo with a frame around it because they didn't have these things back then. And so we were we had a large Christmas card list because people wanted to get our weird Christmas card. And my parents put so much work into this. And now I tried to do it for a couple of years. And I realized that as a child, the distance between October and Christmas card is forever. But when you're an adult, it is the next
no,
day.
it's the next day.
It is the next
Yeah.
day. And I was like, I can't do this. I can't do 2. So I have gone to intermittent Christmas cards.
So you've gone years without.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had people get on my case for, we didn't get a Christmas card. You ever get that? And I'm like,
Yes, because I had an extremely large list at one point, and then stopped doing it.
It's hard.
Now, here's what I will say. We did one for my third born that was sort of her birth announcement because she was born in October, did the Christmas card. This year, I was going to do sort of a Christmas or New Year's card for the last kid's birth announcement that was basically like, we had another kid.
No, that counts. That counts. Yeah.
But
you get a pass.
He came in early January.
Oh, right.
So now he's going to get a birth announcement when he's 11 months old. Yeah. That'll work, right? I'm going to dress him up as an elf or something. It'll be adorable. The point being, I don't do elaborate Christmas cards.
I'll tell you what I've gotten better at. Remembering throughout the year, this would make a great gift for somebody. And doing that. And you know what?
Sign of maturity.
Get it now. Mm-hmm. Get it now because you're going to forget what it was. And I think I have a number of my gifts already taken care of.
Look at you.
Yes.
I've been doing okay because I want to front load it because I'm trying not to stress out in December. I'm undecided on whether the right thing to do is crash with super stress between the 23rd and the 25th or stretch out your stress from November 1st onward.
Stretch it out.
Well, I'm stretching it out this year. We'll see how it goes.
Okay. Folks, that wraps up this episode of Getting Hammered, which we are. Remember, you can subscribe to us on iTunes, Google Play, and YouTube. You can follow me on Twitter at Victory and Amanis. And I actually wrote this here. And remember, don't drink and drive.
Oh, that's
It's a
important.
Friday. You know, a lot of us would get together, when I was younger, visiting my old
With
high
your
school
mixtape.
friends. You go with my mixtape, Mary Katharine, that I bought at Sam Goody. And we go to, see your friends from high school because you're home.
Oh,
and it's exciting. Be careful.
Everybody be careful.
Be careful.
That's a good point.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for getting hammered responsibly. You know what's helping with my stress is these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 beers that we have tried. Thanks for being with us. This has been a Nebulous Media podcast. Have a great holiday season. Unspecified. Politically correct.